Welcome, yogis. My name is Erin, and this is a 1-hour all levels Vinyasa flow class. No particular props, but anything you'd like to have on hand. And we'll start in a comfortable seat. That can be Sukhasana, sitting legs crossed, or maybe working one heel toward the opposite hip crease. And then start to ground down equally through left and right sides, whatever your seat. Begin to draw the shoulders down and back. Lightly squeeze the shoulder blades together. Let the gaze be straight forward. If the chin is lifted, slightly drop it. And then close the eyes, close the mouth. And we'll turn our attention to the breath. Begin to focus the mind by just following the path of your breath. Down through the nose, into the throat, and all the way into the lungs. Begin to match each exhale to the length of each inhale. Starting to cultivate your rhythmic pace of breath today, knowing that might be different than yesterday or next week. And when you feel that body-breath connection, lightly constrict the back of the throat and start to cultivate Ujjayi Pranayama, yogic victory breath control. As you constrict the back of the throat, begin to control the flow of air in and out, and start to build some heat and engagement behind the belly button. In my classes this week, I'm focusing on the theme of Bhuja, which is shoulders in Sanskrit. If you've taken yoga classes, you've probably heard this word in Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. A nice reminder to roll our shoulders down and back. So we'll work on both strengthening and opening the shoulders today. Take one more full breath cycle here, in and out. Through the nose. And then keeping the breath moving, open the eyes. Take an inhale, reach the arms out and up, lift the gaze. Exhale, bend right, left arm overhead. On the breath, inhale, grow tall without arching the back. Exhale, bend left, right arm overhead. Continuing on your breath, breathing into the side bodies each time you bend. See if you can keep both sits bones rooted even as you bend. Making a vinyasa here, connecting our breath with movement in an intentional way. Finish up the round you're on, left and right sides, and we'll meet back sitting tall. Good. From here, inhale, reach the arms wide, palms forward. Exhale, thread right arm under left for Garudasana arms, eagle arms. Maybe forearms touch, or maybe palms come all the way to touch. And then without arching the back, start to pull the elbows forward and away from the shoulders. Draw your breath to that space between the shoulder blades. Imagine you're inflating a balloon in the upper back here. Gaze drishti is straight forward and soft. And we'll take some movement on the breath. Inhale, elbows up and away. Exhale, crunch, elbows toward the belly. Inhale to rise, lift the gaze. Exhale, crunch, pull the belly in. This time, inhale to rise. And on the exhale, send the arms wide, release the arms, shake out the shoulders. And if you're sitting cross-legged, switch the cross of your legs, balancing out the hips. Once more, pulling shoulders down and back. Stacking shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach the arms wide, palms forward. Exhale, left arm under right, Garudasana arms. You might feel a different side to side here. Most of us are quite a bit tighter in our rotator cuff and our dominant arm. Adjusting yourself, and then start to work the elbows forward and away from the chest. Keep pulling the rib cage in, spine is long. And breathe, breathing into any sticky spots in the upper back. We'll find that movement on the breath. Inhale, lift the shoulders up and away. Exhale, crunch, pull the belly under the ribs. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, crunch. Once more, inhale, lift and reach. And on the exhale, send the arms wide and then interlace the hands behind the back. If this doesn't work for your body, you can bring the hands to the hips instead. And then either way, squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. If the palms are touching, see if you can get heels of the hand to touch. Good, straightening through the arms, deep inhale, chest up. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold, reaching the arms up and overhead. We have a tendency to let the shoulders collapse down to the ears. So actively draw the shoulders back and away from the ears. Notice how much space you can create there, from bottoms of the ears to tops of shoulders. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, release the hands, walk the hands forward for a forward fold. Tent up on the fingertips here. And then draw the chin to the chest. As you reach the fingers forward, pull the shoulders back into the sockets. And breathe. Good. With your next inhale, walk the hands in, come to sit tall, and then roll over the knees, coming into tabletop pose. Always the option for a blanket or to roll the mat under the knees here. And then really check in with your shoulder alignment. Shoulders right over wrists. We often shift our shoulders forward. See if you can pull your shoulders back using your core muscles to stand tall here on hands and knees. Next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, Marjarasana. Exhale, tuck and round, pull the belly in, Itilasana. Inhale for cow pose, keep the arms and legs active. Exhale, tuck and round. 2 or 3 more cycles of cat-cow on your breath. You're welcome to linger anywhere that feels good. When you finish up your next exhale, we'll meet back in tabletop pose. Whole body engaged, gaze down at the mat. From here, take an inhale, send the right leg back, plant the toes. With that right leg straight and strong, start to rock forward and back. Draw the weight to the shoulders, squeezing all those muscles on the side of the torso. Further forward you rock, the more strength you'll build here. And then find some stillness. Next inhale, send the right leg back, bend the knee. See if you can catch the right foot with the left hand. Otherwise, bring your left hand to your hip. Either way, inhale, lift the chest. Maybe kick the foot to the hand. Half bow, Ardha Dhanurasana. Lift up and out of that right shoulder. Good. Shift the gaze forward and up. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Bring the legs together and sit the hips back for traditional child's pose. Sending the arms back to let the shoulders relax. Option to slide a prop under the forehead here if it doesn't comfortably touch the mat. Reconnect to your Ujjayi breath. In our practice today, find child's pose, down dog, or any other resting shape at any time. Next, inhale, press forward to hands and knees, back to tabletop, and we'll take that on the second side. Grounding through the palms. Inhale, send the left leg all the way back, plant the toes, and start to rock forward and back. Good, hands should be shoulder distance apart here. And again, drawing the weight as far forward as you can, building strength. And then find some stillness. Press the palms down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the knee, reach back with the right hand. Either catch the foot or bring the right hand to the hip. And then press through the left palm, lift up through the left shoulder. Shift the gaze forward and up. Good, draw the left knee in if it's pulling out. Deep inhale here. Exhale, release, tuck your toes, and send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Always the option to keep a slight bend in the knees as you warm up in your down dog shape. Energetically drawing heels to the mat. And then we'll focus on the arms and shoulders here, pressing through the center of the palm, all the knuckles to the mat. And then push your hips back, feeling the shoulders roll down and back as you let the head relax. Each exhale, shoulders roll back into the sockets as you work the chest toward the mat. Maybe gaze comes up between the legs. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep inhale, roll forward to plank. And on the exhale, lower the knees, knees behind the hips. Cross one ankle on top of the other and lift your feet up. With the palms planted, pull your sternum forward of the shoulders. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lower to the belly, hug the elbows to the ribs. Inhale, press back up, elbows to ribs. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up, building heat. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, press up, tuck your toes, send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So if you're working on Chaturanga, that halfway lowering in your flow, that's a great exercise to take, even if you're not warmed up in yoga, to build some strength and work on your shoulder alignments. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, and we'll hold here. The buttocks is lifted, all 10 toes to the mat, and then see if your elbows can touch your outer ribs. Shift the gaze forward, release the chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Next, inhale, slide forward, keep the toes on the mat, and then hover the palms and knees. Legs are straight and active. Notice if your shoulders are pulling up to the ears or forward. Roll them down and back actively. Feel the rib cage lift. One more inhale, tuck the elbows in. Exhale through knees or plank, back to downward facing dog. 2 deep Ujjayi breaths here. Remember to find rest as you need. With your next inhale, come up on the tiptoes, gaze forward, and begin to tiptoe toward the hands, drawing the weight to the shoulders and palms as you send the hips high. We'll meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. And then catch the opposite elbows with the palms of the hands. Let the head, shoulders, and neck hang heavy. And start to sway left and right. As you sway, draw your weight to the toes And spread your toes as widely as you can. If you're working on cultivating more balance in your yoga practice, being able to spread the toes will really help with stability and balance in our standing poses. The next time you rock through center, stay here, find stillness, and then let the arms go. Take a deep bend in the knees. With an inhale, press through the feet, slowly roll up. Draw the inner thighs together. And we'll meet standing tall, rolling shoulders down and back in Tadasana, mountain pose. 2 options for feet here. Traditional feet for a little more intensity, big toes together, heels apart. If that feels too much on the hips and knees, widen the distance between the feet. And then reach the fingers actively down, draw inner elbows toward the hips. Let the face be soft, whole muscular body is active. Keep that engagement, moving on to classical Surya Namaskar on the breath. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, shoulders back. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, forward, hinge at the hips and fold. Right leg steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, lower knees as you need here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, draw the elbows to the ribs. Inhale for cobra, hover palms and knees. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, forward and up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale to plank. Press the heels back. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale for cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale for plank. Phalakasana. Exhale, lower. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale forward. Cobra, roll the shoulders back. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart, last side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, slight back bend. Exhale, heart center, and release the arms. Nice effort. Come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Re-ground through the feet. And then close the eyes or soften your drishti. Take a few rounds of long Ujjayi breath, noticing any new sensations from Surya Namaskar. At the bottom of your next exhale, open the eyes. And if it's accessible, interlace the hands behind the back. Always the option to bring hands to the hips instead. And then either way, work your shoulder blades together and down. Without pushing the belly forward or arching the back, take an inhale here. Exhale, bring the fist toward the outer right hip or bring the hands toward the hip. And then check in with that right shoulder. Notice if it's collapsing forward, pull it back. Deep stretch through the left shoulder area. Good. Next, inhale, fists behind the back, reach them down. Exhale, fists toward the outer left hip. This time pulling that left shoulder back. Breathing into the outer right shoulder. Notice any differences side to side here. You can learn a lot about our posture by telling where we're tighter in our shoulders, left or right side. Next, inhale, arms behind the back. And on the exhale, fold forward. Keep that arm clasp if you have it. Option to widen the distance between feet for less intensity. We'll take a few rounds of breath, engaging our bandhas, deep internal energy locks, one behind the belly, one near the perineum. Take an inhale, fill the whole belly with air, and on the exhale, contract behind the navel, contract the perineum, let the chest shift further down the legs. Try that a couple times on your breath, not to worry if you're not sure you're feeling your bandhas. Very much on a subtle level. And then notice if shoulders are dropping down toward the ears, hold them up and away. Next, inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release the arms and step it back to downward facing dog. Set up your nice alignment here in down dog. Hands are shoulder distance apart. We often have a tendency to bring them wider or closer. Bring the arms nice and parallel. And then start to push the shoulders back into the sockets. Feel the hips push back. Chest comes toward the mat. Next, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step it through. And then reach the right arm high for a twist, keeping the left palm planted. You can stay popped up on the back toes here, or you can lower the left knee for less intensity. And then as you shift your gaze up, pull the right shoulder back, stack your shoulders. And then work the crown of your head forward in space, striving to bring the whole torso parallel to the mat here. You can stay right here for the arm wrap. Release the right arm behind the back. Walk the hand toward the outer left hip, strongly pulling that right shoulder back. Parivrtta Parishvakonasana. Revolved side angle. Next, inhale, reach the right arm high. On the exhale, plant the right palm, lower the back knee. And then straighten your front leg, maybe sliding the heel forward. First half splits. Take an inhale, half lift, come up on the fingers. Exhale, fold forward, belly toward the thigh. And then walk your hands as far forward as you can, without letting that hip pull forward. Back hip over knee. For added balance challenge, you can untuck your back toes. And then either stay right here or reach the arms back like wings, squeezing shoulders together. If you take that variation, actively lift the front of your shoulders up and away from the mat. Feel that openness across the chest. And breathe. Ardha Hanumanasana, Lord of the Monkey Pose. Next, inhale, bend the front knee, plant the hands, and then plant the left palm firmly. Start to roll to the outer edge of your right foot. You can bring your right hand to your inner right thigh. Just make sure not to press on the knee here. Left arm is active, left shoulder lifting up. And then begin to shift your gaze up and back over the right shoulder. You can stay right here, keeping those right toes flexed, or you can try bending your back knee, maybe catching the foot with the hand for a deep quad stretch. You can also bend the knee and bring the right hand to the hip instead. If you catch the foot, pull the heel toward the buttocks. This can feel really nice if you're a cyclist or runner, if this works for your body. One more variation, option to lower to the left forearm, catch your right ankle with the left hand, going just a bit deeper without collapsing into your left shoulder. Next, inhale, release the back leg, bring the palms forward, frame your front foot, and step it back, downward facing dog. Option to hold here, child's pose, or flow with me on the breath. Take an inhale forward to plank. Exhale, push forward on the toes, lower elbows to ribs. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra, hips on the mat. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. 2 rounds of Ujjayi breath here. Maybe feeling a bit more openness or ease in down dog as you've started to warm up the body. Next, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through. Keep the right palm planted. Send the left arm high for our twist. Hips drop toward the mat. And then lower that back knee if you did so on the first side. Good, hug the left hip into the midline, becoming one nice tight line of energy here. Crown of the head shooting forward, right heel shooting back. As you pull that left shoulder back, shift the gaze up. And then maybe find that arm wrap, left arm behind the back, hands toward the outer right hip. Again, take notice of any difference side to side here. In your home practice, if one shoulder or hip is tighter than the other, you can hold that side for twice as long. With your next inhale, reach the left arm high. Exhale, plant the palm, lower the right knee. Start to straighten your left leg as you slide your left heel forward. Back hip over knee. And then begin to fold Ardha Hanumanasana. Walk your hands forward as far as you can, tense up on the fingers. As you reach through the fingers, pull the shoulders back into the sockets. Good. Maybe untucking the back toes, challenging balance. And then with those front toes flexed, option to reach the arms back like wings, squeezing shoulders together, lifting the front of your shoulders up and away from the mat. And breathe. Next, inhale, bend the front knee, plant the right palm. And then begin to roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Bring your left hand to the left inner thigh. Flex your left toes a lot here. This protects the knee area. And then start to pull the left shoulder back. Shift the gaze up to the left. Maybe staying right here if this is enough. Whether you tried on the first side or not, option to bend the back leg. Reach back for the foot with the left hand. If you can't quite catch the foot, left hand can come to the hip instead. And either way, keep working crown of the head forward. Roll the left shoulder back. Maybe drawing that foot toward the buttocks. If you're feeling stable here, to go deeper, you can lower to your right forearm, right hand to the left ankle. This will really intensify the quad and shoulder stretch. Make sure you're not holding your breath as you twist. Next, inhale, release the back leg, left arm high. And then plant the palms, frame the front foot, step it back. Gomukasana. Option to find rest or flow with me on the breath. I'll talk us through a Chaturanga Flow, lowering halfway down. Inhale forward to plank, push forward on the toes. Exhale, lower halfway, elbows touch the ribs. Flip the feet. Inhale, just tops of the feet and palms on the mat. Exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, one more inhale. And on the exhale, send the knees wide, big toes touch. And walk your hands forward. Wide-legged Vinyasa. If it feels okay, bend the elbows, bring the palms together, walk your elbows forward and together, and then draw your thumbs to the nape of the neck. You're welcome to find a different child's pose variation if you prefer. Reconnect to that rhythmic Ujjayi breath. So anytime you're in a flow practice, you have the option to lower knees, chest, chin. Lower all the way to the belly, moving to cobra. Or lower halfway down, moving to up dog. Once you have all three of those tools, it's a really nice way to modify depending on whether you need more heat or you need to cool down. Next, inhale, arms forward, and press your way to tabletop pose. We're moving into thread the needle. If you have a rotator cuff injury, you might want to skip this or take it gently. It can also be really great though for healing from shoulder injuries. Shoulders over wrists, ground through your left palm. Take an inhale, sweep the right arm up, open the chest. Exhale, thread right arm under left. Come to rest on your outer right shoulder, right side of the head. To start, bring your left hand to the hip and then start to work the left shoulder back, but keep your hips squared. Good, let the gaze shift up. You can stay right here for the arm wrap. Inhale the left arm high, stack the shoulders. Exhale, left arm behind the back, fingers toward the inner right thigh. You can try walking your head further away from that right shoulder to create some more length. One more variation to challenge core engagement. Option to inhale the left leg back, plant the toes, find your balance, and then try hovering the left foot, leg parallel to the mat. You might feel like you'll fall backward in space. Squeeze the rib cage in. Next, inhale, plant the left knee, sweep the left arm high. Exhale, press up just through the left palm, send the right arm up, open the chest. Exhale, release, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Find a flow on your breath. or hold down dog here. Choose what you need. And if you did, choose a flow, meeting back and downward facing dog. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower to the knees, walk the knees back under the hips. And we'll thread the needle on the second side. This time grounding through the right palm. Take an inhale, sweep the left arm up, open the chest. Exhale, thread left arm under right. Come to rest on the outer left shoulder, left side of the head. Right hand to the hip to start. Keep your hips squared as you work that right shoulder down and back. Shifting the gaze up. You can stay right here or find that arm wrap. Right fingers walking toward the inner left thigh. Use your exhales to deepen the twist as you compress the inner organs. Draw your breath to any of those sticky spots in the shoulder area. And then last variation, whether you try it on the first side or not, option to extend right leg back, plant the toes, engage the core, engage the legs, maybe lift that right leg up, hovering it parallel to the mat. And breathe. Next, inhale, replant the right knee, send the right arm high. Exhale, press up just through the right palm, sweep the left arm up. And release to tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, our last down dog here. If you're not in child's pose, you're in your down dog. See if you can push the shoulders just a little further down and back. See how much length you can create through the backs of the legs and through the upper outer torso. As the shoulders push down, you'll feel the hips rise up and back just a bit further. Maybe gaze comes all the way between the inner thighs. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank. And then lower to the knees, slide the legs to one side. And come back to a seat on the mat. We'll draw the soles of the feet together here for Baddha Konasana. If you have a knee sensitivity, make a wider diamond shape, pulling the feet away from the body. Otherwise, catch your feet with the hands, pull your heels as close to the perineum as you can. Use the thumbs to open the soles up. Let the hips splay out. Good, take a look down at your hips. If you can't see your hips, pull your shoulders back, engaging abdominal muscles just a bit more. Deep inhale, chest forward of the shoulders. Exhale, reach forward first, and then release the head and neck. Another great pose to focus on how we're engaging our shoulders here. For a moment, let the shoulders relax fully. Let them roll forward, scrunch toward the ears. Then take an inhale. On the exhale, lift the shoulders down and back, away from the ears. See how much space you can create between bottom of the ear and top of shoulder. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together, feeling a stretch through the chest. Good. If you're someone who finds back bends challenging, this is a nice way to engage the shoulders, the same way we do in our back bends, to open the chest. Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Next, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release. Bend the knees and plant the feet nice and wide in front of you, wider than hips distance apart. And then take your left hand, thread it under your left leg to catch your right ankle. Bend your right knee, point your right knee forward. From here, cross your left leg on top, Left foot toward the outer right hip, setting up for Gomukasana, cow-faced pose. Ideally, knees are pointed forward and stacked. It might not look like that in your body today. Bring your hands to the soles of the feet so you can lift the hips up, adjust yourself here, and then reroute equally through both buttocks. Good. If it feels okay, draw the heels close to the outer hips. And then roll the shoulders down and back. Good. You can stay right here to work toward the arm aspect of this pose. Inhale the right arm high, sweep the left arm behind the back, work your left fingers up between the shoulder blades, and then release the right hand to the back of the neck. Turn around here so you can see. Maybe fingers come to touch, maybe not. If fingers touch, pull your right elbow behind your head. Otherwise, just reach right fingers toward left fingers. One more option. You can stay upright to go deeper in a fold, whether arms are bound or not. Deep inhale for length. Exhale, hinge forward without letting the hips come off the mat. And breathe. Couple rounds of breath settling in here. This is a nice pose to hold for quite a while if you have the time in your home practice. Really opening through hips and shoulders. If you folded, inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the arms, bring the hands behind the body, fingers pointed toward you. Uncross the legs, plant the feet wide. And then take some windshield wiper motions, but keep the arms active here. The sternum rising up toward the sky. Reconnect to your breath. And the next time you come through center, stay here, plant through the feet. This time, reach the right hand under the right leg, catch your left ankle. Pull the left foot to the outer right hip, knee pointing forward, ground for your sits bones, and then cross your right leg any amount on top of left. Most of us will feel quite a lot tighter one side than the other here. Adjust as you need, striving to stack knees on top and draw the heels toward the glutes. Bring the palms to the soles of the feet. Lift your hips up just enough to adjust here. See how firmly you can root through left and right side. And begin to focus on the breath. Breathing into that outer right hip. You can stay right here, Gomukasana legs, to engage the arms. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, wrap the right arm behind the back, walk your right fingers up between the shoulder blades, left fingers to the back of the neck. Maybe fingers touch, maybe not. If the hands do touch, work that left elbow behind the head as you push your chest back in space. Either staying upright with or without the arm bind. To fold forward, deep inhale here. Exhale, hinge forward for length and then fold. Resist the urge to let the shoulders collapse forward. Keep them active, pulling down and back. We'll take 2 more breath cycles in your variation. If you folded, inhale, rise up, unwind. Exhale, uncross the legs. Wiggle out the hips and shoulders if you need. And meet me all the way on the back on your mat. Slide aside your blanket if you had one underneath the hips. When you release fully to the back, bend the knees, plant the feet, and just let the knees rest gently against one another. Constructive rest. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Begin to lengthen your pranayama, your breath control. And start to take notice of holding a slight pause after each inhale. And a slight pause after each exhale. Breathing this way develops deep core strength, quiets the mind, and calms down the nervous system. Remembering this is a tool you can use even when you're not on your yoga mat. With your next inhale, draw the knees to the chest, squeeze them in with the arms, and begin to rock left and right. Massage the lower back. Any intuitive movements here. And then make your way back through center. Keep the knees drawn in, but send the arms wide. We're moving toward a twist. Option for eagle legs first. If you'd like to take that variation, cross the right leg over the left. Maybe right toes tucked behind the left calf. And then whichever leg shape you have, deep inhale, knees into the chest. Exhale, roll to the left hip. Let the knees, feet, and ankles relax. Shift your gaze to the right. Twisting the knees to the left only so far that that right shoulder blade stays rooted. Great place for a prop here under the knees if they're lifted high and feeling uncomfortable. And settle in here. See how long and smooth you can make your breath. Maybe closing eyes altogether. Just let your drishti become very soft. Next, inhale, roll to the back, uncross the legs. And then draw the knees back into the chest, setting up for second side. Keep your arms wide. And if you took eagle legs on the first side, cross left leg over right, maybe tucking left toes behind the right calf. Take a deep inhale, draw the knees in and up. Exhale, roll to the right. Keep your knees at or above hip height here, and then shift your gaze toward the left palm. This time, letting the left shoulder blade make contact with the mat. And again, sliding a prop under or between the knees if you like here. Continue to focus on the breath. Lengthen the breath. With your next inhale, draw the knees in, roll to the back, unwind, and send the feet toward the sky for Ananda Balasana, catching outside the legs or the feet. We're moving toward our final rest, so if there's a different asana you'd like to take here, you're welcome to find other movement. If you're in Happy Baby, you can explore pulling the ankles toward your face in space, stacking them over the knees to go a bit deeper. In the next few rounds of breath, begin to find any last movements you need. Grab any clothing or props you'd like. And make your way into your Shavasana shape, no rush. If the lower back or knees are feeling sore or fatigued, you can roll something up under the knees, getting a slight bend. Or option to place a blanket or pillow across the hips for a little extra grounding. Eventually extending both legs long. You can play with the distance between your legs, just widening them enough that you can fully relax through the outer hips, through the backs of the legs. Turning palms up can help the shoulders to tuck underneath. And if they're not already, close the eyes. Keep the mouth closed. And at the bottom of your next exhale, let go of your Ujjayi Pranayama. Release the mind's focus on postures, breath, and movement. Simply prepare to lie here in quiet and stillness, holding this shape of integration for your practice. Shavasana at the end of asana is similar to sleep at the end of a day. It's that time that allows us to work in all the things we've experienced, all the effort we've made, in a way that settles in long term. I'll chant us into Shavasana with 3 rounds of Om, the universal sound of nature. With each round, let your physical body relax as you go inward, feeling light and at ease. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Atkanda Mangalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Keeping eyes closed, take a long, slow inhale. Deepest breath of your day. Open the mouth and exhale it out. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Gently roll the neck back and forth, up and down. You're always welcome to stay in relative stillness. When you're ready for movement, find a full body stretch. If you just woke up in the morning, maybe interlacing fingers. And in your own time, draw both knees into the chest. Roll over to the right side body. Giving your navi, energy channels along the spine, a chance to prepare to bring head above heart. When you're ready to rise, press your way to a seat, eyes closed or gaze soft. And we'll meet just as we began our practice. If you took Ardha Padmasana in the beginning, bringing the opposite heel to the hip crease. As you find your most comfortable seat, ground down equally through left and right. Lightly roll the shoulders down and back, sitting tall. With an inhale, bring palms to heart center. Press thumbs to heart to thumbs, Anjali Mudra. Whether you're joining live or taking this on your own time, I'm happy to be here to hold this space. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. Namaste. Thank you so much. If you have the capacity to make a donation to support donation-based yoga, you can do so through Venmo and PayPal at Freelancer PhD, FREELANCER And either way, you're welcome to join. Check out my Facebook group. I hope to practice with you again soon.